A man had 3 women who were deeply in love with him. Each of them was beautiful in her own way, but he couldn't decide who to marry. Then one day, life put him to the test. He suffered a terrible accident. When he woke up in the hospital, he received the worst news of his life. He had lost his sight. The first woman, upon hearing this, sighed and said coldly, "I can't stay with you. Taking care of you would be a burden. I can't stop my life for you," and she left. The second woman looked him up and down and thought, "He's no longer attractive. I don't want to be with someone like him. I'm young, and I have a future ahead of me," and she left too. But the third woman knelt before him, took his trembling hands, tears in her eyes, and whispered, "I love you. You are still the most beautiful man in the world to me. I would be the happiest woman if you wanted to marry me." The man, deeply moved, smiled and pulled out a small ring from his pocket, asking her to marry him. Days later, at the altar, in front of all the guests, something unexpected happened. The man looked directly at her and said, "After the accident, I made a decision. I was never truly blind. I only wanted to know who would be with me through joy and pain, in health and in sickness." The other 2 women stood frozen, in shock, unable to believe what they were hearing. The man continued, "True love doesn't fade when challenges come. It grows stronger in the midst of them. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things." This story reminds us that true love isn't about what the eyes can see, but what the soul feels. Because beauty fades, the body ages, and difficult days always come, but love from God remains. True love doesn't run away when life gets complicated. It chooses to stay. That is the love worth seeking and offering. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone you love and comment. After her husband passed away, Sarah remarried a wealthy man named Michael. She moved into his large suburban home and brought along her 3-year-old son, Ethan. At first, Michael didn't mind. He treated Ethan kindly, and for a while, it felt like a real family again. But a year later, Sarah gave birth to another son, Michael's own child, and everything changed. Michael's love for Ethan grew cold. He stopped playing with him, stopped caring about him, and slowly began to treat the boy like a stranger. One afternoon, Michael came home with a brand new bicycle, a shiny red one, and handed it to his son. Ethan watched in silence, his little eyes filled with sadness. Sarah, heartbroken, whispered, "Maybe we could get another one for Ethan too?" Michael's smile vanished. He turned to her sharply. "I'm not his father. If you keep pushing this, he leaves this house tonight." Sarah froze. She looked at her son, his small hands clutching his old toy car. From that day on, the divide grew deeper. Michael enrolled his son in a private school, but when Sarah asked about Ethan, he said coldly, "He doesn't carry my name. He doesn't belong there." Sarah couldn't stay silent anymore. "Education isn't something you earn by blood," she shouted. "I've had enough," Michael roared back. "I don't want him in my house another day." Tears streamed down Sarah's face, but before she could speak, Ethan stepped forward. He wiped her tears with his tiny hand and said softly, "Don't cry, Mom. He's not worth it. If my being here makes them hurt you, I'll go." He picked up his small backpack, closed the door quietly behind him, and disappeared into the night. Sarah watched the door close slowly behind him. Her knees gave out, and she fell to the floor in tears. "God," she whispered through sobs, "I can't protect him anymore. Please, bring him back to me someday." The house fell silent. Only the echo of her prayer remained. 10 years later, that prayer would finally be answered.